Boys Papier. Boys Papier.
Welcome back to another episode of Bars by BA, and I am BA. If this is your first time hanging out with us, man, your first time checking out the channel, and you're interested in positive, uplifting content, then please go ahead and subscribe, click that bell so you can get the latest content as it comes out every week. Cool? For those of y'all who've already subscribed, appreciate you, man, for rocking with me. All right, so today we're gonna talk about dealing with the detours. A detour is something where when you're driving and you're on your way somewhere, there's a sign that says detour ahead. There's a sign that says lane ends or merge left, merge right. There's some construction. And a detour is something that we don't plan on our own. It's something that just is already there. And sometimes in life we have detours, but we have to learn how to deal with them, all right? So today we're gonna come from Genesis chapter 39, verses 18 through 22. Genesis chapter 39, verses 18 through 22. And today we're gonna talk about Joseph. I can't give you the whole story on Joseph, so we're just gonna focus in on a little bit. So Joseph, he was loved by God. He was favored by God. He was hated by his brothers. He had a gift, and his gift was he could interpret dreams. And one day he told his brothers, hey, I'm gonna be over you, so just get ready for that. And they decided to kill him. So fast forward, they threw him in a pit, and one of his brothers said, hey, you know what? Let's not kill him, let's sell him. So they sold him into slavery, and they sold him to Potiphar. And Potiphar was like a high official who hung out with Pharaoh in those days and time, which was basically the president. And so they sold him to Potiphar, and Potiphar had a wife, and she was wild, she was a thought, right? And she wanted to lay with Joseph, and she set him up, tried to lie on him and all that. It's a lot to cover, but we're just gonna focus on how Potiphar's wife lied on Joseph and how he ended up in prison. And everywhere that Joseph went, it said, and the Lord was with Joseph. So bar number one is, it's not your fault. Listen, what's not my fault? The detour that you're on right now, the place that you're in right now where you're not happy about, it's not your fault. In the text, Potiphar's wife lied on Joseph. She said, oh, he wanted to lay with me. She said he basically tried to rape her, and then Potiphar put Joseph in prison, and he had to stay in prison for some stuff that he didn't do. I know that's still taking place in these days and time, man. People being falsely accused and spending time for something that they had nothing to do with, all right? So she lied on Joseph. When Potiphar got home, he said, what happened? I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He said, what happened? He did what? Oh man, you gotta go to the prison. So Joseph, he went to the prison, and while he was in prison, he was there, and I would have to believe that he was sitting there saying, I didn't even do nothing. So Potiphar's wife had lied on Joseph. She said, man, he tried to lay with me, this person that you brought in, this person that you set over the whole house. One thing about Joseph, he was in charge of everything in Potiphar's house, and the only thing that was off limits was Potiphar's wife. But she was wild, man. I told you she was a thought, and she was trying to just set this man up. So he did nothing wrong. There's a story about a grandpa. He was having a conversation with his little grandson, who was probably about 3 years old, and he took him to the window. He said, son, look out there. You see two trees? You see a tree over there and a tree over here. And the granddaddy asked the grandson, he said, what's so different about the trees? The grandson was like, well, that tree over there is empty on the ground. There's nothing under it. Then he said, that tree over there has a lot of sticks underneath it. So the grandfather was like, that's a good observation, son. And he told him that the reason why that tree over there has nothing on it, underneath it, is that that's an acorn tree. Nobody really cares much about acorns. He said, but that tree over there is a pecan tree. And the reason why there are a lot of sticks on the ground is because people throw the sticks in the trees and they try to knock the pecans down so that they can eat them. And the grandson was looking like, okay. But the grandfather told him the difference between the two trees is that the pecan tree has something to offer. And since it has something to offer, people throw sticks up there in order to get it. You missed it. You have something to offer, man. And people have been throwing sticks at you. People have been coming at you sideways, much like the wife did Joseph in the text, man. But look, you have something to offer, all right? Which leads me to bar number two. Bar number two is, don't let your prison steal your purpose. Don't let your prison steal your purpose. In the text, it says that Joseph went to prison after he left Potiphar's house. But everywhere that Joseph was, it says, and the Lord was with Joseph. So prison and jail, all those places are designed to suck the life out of you. All those places are designed to steal your purpose. All those places are designed to steal your identity. I don't know where you are right now, but your current situation is sucking the life out of you. Your current situation is stealing your purpose. But I'm here to tell you right now, don't allow your prison to steal your purpose. There's a story of a young lady. She was singing, and she was a great singer. And this husband and wife, they had went home, and the wife asked the husband, she said, hey, how did you feel about the young lady that was singing today? He said, man, she's a great singer. And she was like, yeah, I agree. And he said, but she'll be an even better singer once she has her heart broke. I don't know where you are, but you have had your heart broke and you feel like it's over. You have had your heart broken and you feel like you can't go forward. But I'm here to tell you right now, man, don't lose your purpose during your prison moment. All right, cool. And then in the text it says, and the Lord was with Joseph. And the Lord was with Joseph. Everywhere that Joseph went, when he was in the pit, it says, and the Lord was with Joseph. When he was in the prison, it said, and the Lord was with Joseph. And then when Joseph was elevated to a higher status, it says again, and the Lord was with Joseph. So I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what your week or your month has looked like, but I'm here to tell you that God is with you. When I was growing up, I had this little action figure, and it was called a My Buddy. It's like, my buddy, wherever I go, he's gonna follow. So you had to like carry him to take him where you wanted him to go with you. You put him in your backpack, you carry him in your hands, whatever the case was. But the thing about My Buddy is that you had to remember to grab My Buddy, because if you didn't remember to grab him, you would forget him. But God is way better and bigger than My Buddy, because you had to remember to get My Buddy, but God is already there wherever you end up. So wherever you are, I need you to start inserting your name in the text. If it was me, it would say, and the Lord was with BA, and the Lord was with you, and the Lord was with your mom, and the Lord was with your dad. So we have to start inserting our names in the text, so that way it'll give us some life and we can make it applicable to where we are today. Cool. So the goal bar for today is, man, it was actually bar number 2. The goal bar for today is, don't let your prison steal your purpose. Man, look, have a great week. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, man. Look, be true to God and be true to yourself, man. I'm out.